What's up, YouTube? This is my third time recording this video, which makes me a little bit, but yeah. So we're gonna be talking about my stalker, right? So back in February, when I originally blocked him, by the way, this is the guy I was supposed to move to Oregon with. He was emailing me tons of times. Obviously, since I blocked him, it was going to my spam email and all that shit. So some of these emails have been deleted since then, but basically he just kept sending me emails, right? And there was a point where I finally checked my spam folder, mostly because I was wondering if I had any sponsorships, and then I told him to leave me alone or else further contact will, you know, remain as harassment, by the way. And then on top of that, he ended up telling me all these things, and I told him that if he, like I said, if he contacted me again, it would be harassment. And then he continued to contact me, and then I just decided, hey, maybe it's better if I become friends with this guy long distance, like not really close friends, but just because I talk to about things to him does not mean we're close friends at all. I'm just an open person. I talk to people openly. And also, that doesn't mean you're my only friend either. Because trust me when I say that you're not the only person I've ever opened up to, that you're not the only person I've ever opened up to. Anyways, on top of that, I blocked it, or I ghosted him, I would say. About, it's 26, so 26 days ago. And in the 26 days, he sent me 57 emails, even after I emailed him and then finally called him and took his call, which we will get to in a moment. But first step is that we're going to be reading his email first, and order of events. Trying desperately to contact you about many things. I will shed some light on this as just as one of many. I have my suspicions, naturally, of why you won't communicate with me, and it has nothing to do with me. Please open up to me. And by the way, before I continue, yes, it has everything to do with you. You are creepy, and also you're pervy, which you actually end up admitting in the call, but I'm not going to show it because it's such a long call. It's literally a 3-hour call, but I will show part of that in a moment here. But anyways, continuing. But here's why you shouldn't ghost me. Here's the threat, by the way. I have a YouTube channel, and it's growing at an alarming rate. You have a YouTube channel. Neither of us would consider leaving something inappropriate about each other's channel. I'm not going to destroy my channel because I'm trying to grow it. And also, this isn't about his channel. Also, why I'm not saying his name. And then on top of that, I'm also not pointing out the fact that there's 2 YouTube videos about me, by the way, which we will get to, because we will. But as I was saying, because the channel has nothing to do with you as a human being, straight up, it has nothing to do with you. Not that your YouTube videos don't have anything to do with you, but the fact that I'm making this video has nothing to do with your channel by itself. By itself. You know. Word. Continuing. Also, I'm making this video, so obviously I'm talking about you. I'm not going to destroy my channel because I'm trying to grow it. So being part of the YouTube... Okay. Basically, he goes on and says that, and then he says that I'm a narcissist with a video saying some thoughts on narcissism in social media, and then says, this is what's happening. No, it's not. I'm not getting narcissistic. I'm not all of a sudden just not caring about my friends. That just doesn't really fit very well. And also on top of that, there are a lot of things I'm going to show you guys in this that is the problem. First step is show you what he said on my live stream, which he didn't know I was streaming at the time, but I called him because he kept emailing me and just being really annoying, so I finally called him thinking, hey, that would end things, right? And I thought it did. We'll get to that. We thought so. But continuing, at 3 hours and 30 minutes and 34 seconds on a stream from September 21st, 2022, where he says this. And also, this is about sexuality before I get into it, so if you have any triggers about sexuality and things like that, I apologize. Just, fair warning, and skip ahead in the video if you can. But as I was saying, before I show you this, he basically talks, there's a reason why I blocked him, and that's one of the reasons is that he would completely just kept telling me about his sexuality and telling my sexuality, which is annoying. By that I mean he would say that he would be really creepy and be like, if I was for example, he said if I was a homosexual, he would kiss me. And this is what this clip is. But on top of there is plenty of emails where he would mention sexuality like it matters, even though I was literally just moving in with him as a roommate, nothing more. There was nothing romantic going on, but for his mind, he continued to try to push a narrative that I was a closeted gay. And here it is. Why? So that has been a lot of phone calls. This is the only one that I got recorded. But that has been something that continued to happen. I have his emails backed up from when I originally unblocked him, by the way. So just let you know, I have all that. So on top of that, he continued, and he pretends that people wouldn't be on my side because basically he tells people what goes on, but that no, you don't. You don't tell how I feel. You don't tell how even you feel, really. Because if you're telling me things like, "Hey, I would kiss you if you were because if you lived with me," man, you're 63. That's why he's in his 60s. I don't know exactly how old he is. I just said 63. But on top of that, I am 21 right now. My birthday was a few days ago. But on top of that, during this time, I was 21 actually, a day before this call. But on top of that, he continued to stalk me, by the way. He did background checks on me. He even, admitted to that in an email. He looked up my address trying to find where I live. And he admitted that too. And then on top of that, here are some other emails. Or actually, before we get into the other email, we are going to do a YouTube video which was uploaded on the... Oh, sorry, I didn't have show more. It was uploaded a couple days ago. We'll put it that way. Um, It was uploaded less than a week ago. But on top of that, he says this where he pretends I'm his girlfriend and just to, show the proof. Now, this used to be a cube. It's like a puzzle thing where you take apart, by the way. And you take that cube apart, and he basically gave it to me as a gift, and here's where he pretends that I'm his girlfriend.
You know, my girl, she broke up, and I'm not gonna say names. One day before I give her the only gift I've ever given her, and she didn't even know it was on the way.
Yes, I do. You sent me how many emails telling me that the gift was on the way, like I really cared about a cube. To be honest with you, that didn't really do anything. The thought of it wasn't really that good, to be honest with you. Did I think, hey, it's a gift that this guy sent me who is my best friend, etc., etc.? No, I didn't think anything like that. I said, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Because it's not something that was a good person, really, in my life, because it was just creepy and it did not make me feel comfortable. And of course, it's hard to admit that it didn't make me feel comfortable because it was awkward getting told that I'd kiss you, by the way, and things like that of that nature, if you can get what I mean here. But that's one of the things he says. But in his latest email, which was today, about 2 hours ago, I, had multiple recordings. But anyways, continuing. You're ghosting me on your YouTube channel. This is where he gets disrespectful. This is the main reason why I'm making this video. If he just never emailed me again, it would be fine. And then he goes, so I'll say it here. You of all people have no cause to complain about life and how you're treated. I think every single person complains about life and how I'm treated. And also, if you're trying to say that I'm a terrible human being to you, it's because you're a creepin' who keeps messaging me constantly talking about if I was a homosexual that you would kiss me and all these sexual things that don't really matter just for moving in with somebody because we were roommates, not fucking living together like that. Continuing. Other people struggle and suffer far more than you, and before I read that, yes, there are people that suffer more than me, and I apologize for the people that suffer more than me, and I hope that you guys get out of that place and realize that you're not alone. Continuing. And yet they have a big heart. So this is where he kind of like tries to or like downplay me and says that I don't have a big heart, that I'm not kind, that I don't think of other people's problems, reach out to others to help them, and don't act like a brat. So basically, he's trying to say that I act like a brat, that I don't reach out to others to help people, that I think nothing of anyone else's problems, and I don't have a big heart. Now, if anyone knows me, that isn't true. And there's a few things that I can prove otherwise. For example, one of my messages with a streamer friend, by the way, I wasn't originally going to say anything about this, but I kind of just need to prove him wrong there and, point out why I'm not as bad as he thinks I am, or, how bad he's trying to point me out to be. Where I email my best friend, hey, name drop, I love you, and even though we are across America many miles, probably like 3,000 miles, that's still 3,000 miles of walking, my heart would beat just to see you smile. You matter so much to me, and I know I talk to you about my problems, and you're not always in the best place to read them. It makes me feel so terrible because I don't want to make you feel inconsiderate. Just know I open up because I want to have a deeper human connection with you, and that's the truth. I know it's hard for you to talk about any problems of what's going on, but I just know you matter so much to me. You will always have me to talk to. I will always respond to you, and I will never ever judge you. I wish we lived closer, honestly, so we could hang out, go out to eat, or just chill around, stream together, all around, just do things with you, just or not just like a friend, but like family. I would hope that I could distract you from all your bad thoughts you are having, but I also hope that you will be able to open up with me if and when you felt like you could. Maybe one day we could live closer. I know you're moving somewhere east at some point, but I'd love to be able to live closer, honestly. I love you, name drop. Keep your head up for me. And this person is a very, very, very important person in my life in so many different ways. So for someone to say that I don't care for other people's problems is just not true at all. And also, I apologize for those dogs that you heard for a minute ago. But continuing. I pretty much also had sent a message to somebody else a while ago. This was almost a month ago. I said, just wish I was loved, but I know I won't ever be, so I'll just make it my life goal to give out love to people that need it because I know what it feels like to be alone. And that's true. I know what it feels like to be alone. Now, love as in relationships, like, not really what I was talking about there. That was more, yes, I don't feel like I would ever be loved outside of that, like by friends, by love, or, by relationships, and I meant to give out love to people, regardless of relationship, friendship, etc., which is true. I respect people until they give me a reason not to. That's the truth. And also, there's a reason why I mentioned that, and we will get to it because we're continuing his email. And yes, I am not really focusing on relationships too much, but at the same time, do I want to be in one? Yeah, sure. But not to this full extent. I just don't want to waste my time, and I'm not going to bother trying, if it's not going to work out anyway. Anyways, continuing. You think you're privileged. How does that make sense? You think you're privileged and you're the only one that suffers. How am I suffer? How do I think I'm privileged, but then I think I'm the only one that suffers? I don't think I'm the only one that suffers. I message people all the time. Like if I'm talking about my problems to somebody, I would be like, hey, like you're able to open up with me too, because I know you got things. But obviously, some people are not really prone to opening up to me in the first place because they're just not open people in general. So on top of that, it's kind of hard to always have people open up. But there are plenty of people that I am in contact with constantly that do open up to me. But realize that I also have my own problems, and they allow me to open up to them at the same time. So I don't think it's really a problem, especially when my friends constantly tell me that I'm able to open up with them, and I tend not to sometimes. By the way, continuing. Being a jerk will not get you any friends. I don't think I'm really being a jerk. I think I'm actually genuinely a good person, to be honest with you. But at the same time, there are a lot more things that I will be doing in the future that I can't do right now. For example, one thing I tend to do is gift subs to people, if you know what that is on Twitch. I get 150 something subs in the last 8 months or however long it's been since I started gifting subs to them. But anyways, one of my best friends, they're going through a hard time with money and rent and things like that, and I gifted 150 subs. I know that you think that might not be a lot, but 150 times 250 is whatever, and that's how much they basically got. You so that's not a lot of money. I mean, it is, but it's not like the best. And yes, I've gifted that, and I also have building a PC, so that's what most of my money's going towards. But any like very small amount of money goes towards gifting subs to others because I want to help people be successful. I want to help people be able to pay their rent and not be homeless because I am a good person, and that's the truth. And I know that, and I'm building on my own self confidence. I'm building on my own self love because I don't love myself, to tell you the truth, and I don't have a lot of confidence. But here I am, still trying to this day. For how long have I been trying? Continuing. You have said something always goes wrong. I never said that to you, I don't think. And even if I did, something does go wrong in people's lives. That's just obvious. Something always happens. I agree. It's you that goes wrong in your relationships. See, this is where he says that I'm the problem in my romantic relationships when I get cheated on, etc., which doesn't make any sense because if somebody is a cheater, by the way, they would cheat on me, but they would cheat on other people at the same time. So, not how that works. But on top of that, if people are lying to me, how is that my fault? They're choosing to lie to me. That doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, the reason why I leave my relationships, and if it's a romantic relationship, I'm not the problem. Sorry, bud. And also on top of the reason why I'm not deciding to be in relationships, it's just for the fact that I don't want to get cheated on. I don't want to waste my time, and I also don't want to like gain feelings for somebody who will leave. That's their choice, not my choice. Their choice to leave, their choice to cheat, their choice to be that kind of human being in the first place. Because by the way, people that cheat tend to cheat on all their partners. Maybe not all, but 99% of their partners they cheat on. That's the truth. And that's why cheaters should just not be in relationships that are, like closed relationships. If you want to go in an open relationship, you can try that. If you don't want to do that, you just want to fuck around, go fuck around. Who cares? That's the truth. As long as you're doing it and you're being safe, that's the truth. But also the point is that you're hurting other people by cheating on them. And you're hurting other people by doing that, because some people tend to start being a cheater because they got cheated on, by the way. And that's a whole nother thing. It's hurt people type of thing. But on top of that, um, I don't think I'm the one that's the wrong in the relationships. In certain relationships, yes, I was definitely the problem. Like with if I was going through like a really bad relationship or something like that. But a lot of my exes, not all, but some of them, very, very, very few that I actually talk to though, are on good terms with me. Including one who literally has a kid now and has a family. So yeah, continuing. Now, am I like best friends with my exes? No, I don't really want to be. I think that isn't really that great for relationships in general. But continuing, I will continue watching your nonsense on your channel, which I don't really understand how this is nonsense. I think this video specifically is a really good video. But on top of that, if you're going to continue to watch my channel, you're called a hate watcher, by the way. Keep doing it. I don't really care. All you're doing is helping me grow. So keep doing it. And you're going to watch this video realizing that you're helping me grow, by the way. So, yeah, if you want to, like, sit there and hate, go ahead. Hoping to see some dignity someday. Actually, I think this is more dignity than you have ever had. But I want nothing to do with you. Okay, I don't want anything to do with you. I never wanted anything to do with you. That should have been obvious in my last message in February when I said that I didn't want anything to do with you, and that if you emailed me again, it would be considered harassment, by the way. Like I say, I'm the best friend you ever had. No, you have not. You're not the best friend I've ever had, dude. Not even close. But you're not fit for society. All right, sure. You have mitigating circumstances. It's crazy to me that he says that I'm not fit for society, as he's telling me all these things that, like, basically I'm the problem, etc. That I have issues, etc. And that I'm not fit for society. Yet he's being a creep. He's saying these homosexual things like, "Hey, if you were homosexual or closeted gay, I'd make out with you," etc., etc. Which, by the way, is not a human being that wants to do that. That's not considered creepy. And then on top of that, there are jokes that, like, I have homosexual friends. They are my friends, keyword, and that they're not, like, consistently flirting with me. And if they are flirting with me, they're usually laughing and, like, joking around with me at the same time while doing it. And there's a big difference between them doing it and then doing it a creepy way. Continuing. You have mitigating circumstances, big ones, but that's no excuse for you to have a bad attitude towards life and people around you. Which, by the way, I don't really have a bad attitude towards my friends or anything like that. I don't really have bad attitude towards life. Not really. I mean, I think life can be beautiful. I want to travel, and I'm thinking that there's beauty in nature, etc. that exists. That's not a problem with me at all. Towards my own life, maybe, like I have to deal with what I have to deal with. Sure, yeah, of course I'm going to have a bad attitude towards that because it's a trigger, it's a life thing that you have to, get over by time. It literally just takes time. But on top of that, I don't really take it out on people I know. Not really. You complain all over the place, but you have a very good life. Not really. Not really. I mean, the reason why it took me 3 times to record this video and for how long they were is because the dog's barking, and the dogs were still barking on this video. I think this is the quietest they've been in the last fucking 2 hours. But okay. So shut your mouth and have some dignity, which I don't think he realizes what's the definition of dignity because he has none. And respect others. Respect is earned. Respect is not delivered just because you're an older person, and respect is not earned because you just live. Okay, respect is earned, and respect Like I say, I give respect until somebody disrespects. That's the truth. And here I am, where I'm being disrespected. I'm getting told all these problems that I have and that I'm the issue, etc., etc. Remember how we did this with my fake stalker, by the way, and that you called me that same night that I talked about him and you agreed with everything I was saying? Man, you need to look in the mirror and realize that everything I'm saying right now is truthful and completely honest, and I'm giving both sides of the story. So, and you can say that I'm not giving both sides of the story, but I'm literally reading your words for word. I'm using your voice that you said to me on a phone call that was on stream. Continuing, you're not the only human. The world doesn't revolve around you. I don't know where you got the circumstance that I think the world revolves around me. I really don't. I've been focusing on me growing on Twitch and YouTube and TikTok and all these social media platforms because it's important to me that I grow and that I create a community who actually respects each other and that are honest with each other and that gives respect to other people that deserve it, not just because somebody thinks that they deserve it when they don't actually deserve it, like this person. Like you, I should say. Like, you know. You were once a special person, and I don't even want to know what happened, nor do I care. But you are damaged goods. We are all here, or we are all damaged goods to some degree, but we don't have to show it. That's not true. I think everyone shows that they're damaged goods, but okay. Especially when it's juvenile, which I don't understand why he's calling me a juvenile now. So go ahead, be a punk, and see where it gets you. You're not welcome, but you can still communicate. See where he's trying to get me to still email him and still communicate. Maybe you can learn something about life and living in this world. Man, just because you're 60 and you think you know it all because you've been through life, life is not the same as it was 60 fucking years ago. Shut up. Shut up. Please. And if you are 60 and you're watching the video and you agree with me, you'll see exactly what my point is that somebody being a creepy stalker, doing background checks on me, trying to find my address, etc., is not a normal human being doing that in the first place. But I'm continuing. I think there is far larger value in being respectful, so keep things private. We both are heavily invested in social media. I told my story and I didn't name names. It was respectful. If you're going to be in the public eye, let people appreciate you and don't make a personal issue out of it. Isn't it crazy how he's just talking about me and that he didn't mention my name, but he doesn't want me to talk about it because he wants to keep it out of the public eye? By the way, I'm talking about you right now. Yeah, I'm not saying your name. The reason why I'm not saying your name because I don't want to have to deal with the thousands of dollars that I would have to pay for a lawyer, but also you don't even have thousands of dollars, so you wouldn't even attack me for defamation anyway, but also on top of that, you would lose because I'm literally talking about everything you have said in emails. So, yeah, and I have every single fucking email dating back for months, and I have a phone call of you trying to literally just kind of like a lot of times you try changing my sexuality without really saying it, but trying to pretend that I was a closeted gay or whatever it is. And I have nothing against people who are. I think that you should have your time to be, when you come out, and I think you should have that. But on top of that, dealing with people who are trying to make me one, by the way, is just not right when it's just coming off as even more creepy. You know what I mean? Like I've had friends be like, "Hey, man." Like if I got cheated on, they'd be like, hey, if only you were gay. You know what I mean? And I've had friends like that all the time, and that's fine. But when they start trying to push it on me or doing really creepy things to me, that's when it becomes a problem, like this guy. And this whole email is the reason why I'm even making it, by the way. Continuing. Basically says, and disagree to disagree without disrespect. All people can be allies for good if handled with dignity. No, I don't want somebody as an ally that literally does this shit. Sorry. Ghosting escalates problems. I will never ghost, and I will love all fans, haters, as well as the good ones, equally without ghosting. I don't think he understands that ghosting he's going to get a lot of haters, especially in YouTube, content creation, regardless, if he ends up being successful at it. You're going to get a lot of haters, and you're going to have to deal with that. It's not good for your mental health, by the way, but on top of that, you're going to have to learn how to cope with it because it does exist. And then on top of that, you're going to have to cope that I'm making this video about you in the first place. But you decided to hate on me and do these things. And also, but also, he also said to me these things where basically I think it's this email, basically he says he was upset with me when I called him because of everything, etc. But anyways, it's crazy to me how he goes from like complete disrespect from like saying like good things. Um, Here is after the phone call, for example. After our phone call Wednesday, September 21st, 2022, some obviously, but it was it pervert, where he admits that he was pervert, basically. In the call, he admitted it a lot more when I said he was creepy for doing so. And then on top of that, he goes, yes, you are liked by me, and I see the potential both in friendship and personality. By personality, he means romantically, by the way. And then on top of that, perhaps people have changed. I know there's a huge age difference between us. Yes, I'm 21, you're 60 something. Um, and that's not it. People I've known in the past, it was not pervert. I gotta get inside their head. Okay, basically just goes on and says these things. But in the end of this call, he says, um, basically, catch you later or goodbye. I'm really okay with either, but I prefer knowing you. I've enjoyed knowing you, even if it was an illusion and you're not, and you're just an average guy. Let me go on believing you are still one in a million because I believe you are usually special, unusually special. Don't be mad at me. It wasn't my fault. Not a pervert. I have a big heart, which not doesn't make any sense because trying to change my sexuality continuously for months doesn't really sound good. And then on top of that, continuously doing that before the months where I blocked you is a little crazy. And I don't even know what half those emails said, but I remember getting threatened and saying that you would take me to court and that I would lose in the court of public eye, which, by the way, is not true at all, by the way. And then on top of that, I have lawyer friends who literally tell me that I can't get sued by you. And that's why I'm making this video, and I haven't mentioned your single name. And even if I mentioned your first name, it would not be enough because that could be anybody named the same name. And then on top of that, regardless, there's a lot of things that you don't realize that I have on you. Like, for example, all these emails that you have literally sent me from the very beginning threatening me. You don't know I have all of them. You really don't. But, anyways, my point is that I'm done with you. I'm done with you, and I know you're going to send me emails after this, and I might even make another video about you if you keep doing that, by the way. But on top of that, stop emailing me. It's just harassment at this point. So that's all I gotta really say. This is the end of the video. So thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. It means a lot. If you want to follow my Twitch, it's in the description of the video. Also follow all my other social medias. I am ending here because the dogs are barking. But everybody have a good day. Good night.